Hey there guys, it's me the Broken Machine, and today I'm bringing you a little strategy video on how to get the Art of War Camo in a pretty quick and efficient way in Black Ops 2. Now the first thing I want to say is you want to make sure all the challenges before this camo are done, because if you try and do it if they're not complete, you won't be able to unlock this camo, so just go ahead and make sure you have all of them unlocked beforehand. Normally I'd say do the no perks and no attachments challenges at the same time. I already had the cherry blossom camo, as you can see here, so that's why I'm using it. So let's just, before I go into the strategy, let's talk about the setup that I have. It's the Vector with the Milimeter scanner. I don't use the scanner particularly for what it does, like you can see there. I just like the way it looks and the visibility that it gives you. I mean, it does help there in the smoke, but you know, it's not the most ideal if you're trying to play a more aggressive role. If you're more of a defensive player, you know, this sight might work for you, but it doesn't work so well for me in that department. I just like the way it looks, the visibility. I'm using extended clip. The reason I use extended clip is because we are playing headquarters here, and that's a good point. The game mode you want to use for getting the no perks challenge is particularly headquarters or domination or hardpoint, something where you can manipulate, you can play the map in a way where you're not necessarily on the objective, but you are still playing the objective. So that's what you're going to see in this video. I'm not right on the objective. I'm trying to cover the flanks and cover the rush routes and, you know, the places where people are going to camp and try and hold the objective. So I'm not sitting directly, I'm just trying to cover those people around the objective. So I'm playing a Slayer role, essentially. Now I know a lot of players don't like Slayers, but you really do need Slayers in Call of Duty. If you didn't have Slayers, you know, you'd really struggle on the objectives. There seems to be a lot of people who think that blindly jumping on objectives is the way to go, but it isn't, I can assure you. You know, see, like here, I flank these guys here. I know this guy takes a shit ton of bullets, but you know, I'm flanking around, you know, stopping the guys getting to the objective, and then I come to the objective, take a couple out, then go back around and come back in again. So that's the kind of strategy you want to be using. It doesn't really matter what weapon you are using, but take into account the map you're on. So if you're on a map like Express, you know, SMGs and shotguns really dominate, so it's a good time to use those. But if you're on a map like Turbine, you know, you want to be using sniper rifles or assault rifles or LMGs. You can get away with SMGs on that map, but you know, assault rifles do a lot more damage and are a lot more efficient on those larger maps. So I'm using Overkill as a second, as another perk. As the wildcard, sorry, so I can have a second primary. That's up to you, you don't have to do that. I'd pick something that, you know, you don't really use often, so if it does come to using it, you can just get a couple of headshots here and there, so add to your challenges. I have no idea how I didn't get that guy there, but it doesn't matter. So I'm using the tactician wildcard as well, so I have a tactical grenade in place of a lethal grenade, so I have 2 EMPs and 2 flashbangs. The EMPs are great for headquarters and domination and any objective mode really, because you can throw them on the objective and take out all their equipment. The flashbangs help again. Just another little point there, watch the spawns. If you spend too much time in headquarters looking in one direction, you'll get shot in the back like it did there. But it doesn't matter, we're in the lead 85-0, so that's okay. So the general strategy is not to be on the objective, like right on it, like there. It's to cover your teammates, allow them to cap, and then you become a Slayer. You go around the sides of the map, and you know, see, I'm watching. The objective is on the left there, but I'm using their blind spot here. So they're all looking directly at the objective, so they're all running out, pointing directly at it, and I just keep coming around the corner and taking them out. So I'm covering the middle route they come in here. You notice I looked left before I shot that guy then. That's because they're going to be coming from those directions. And again here, they're looking directly at the objective, so I'm just taking them out pretty easily. The kill streaks aren't so important in if you're going for the no perks challenges or no attachment challenges. I'd recommend though, to make it a lot easier, that you have like UAV, counter UAV, and the VSAT. You can see the role I'm playing. Look how effective it actually is. I'm not directly on the objective, but I'm just covering around, and I managed to get a VSAT there, which is just gonna help the team out just tremendously. And I get a ton of points from the assist, so then I can get my kill streaks back up again. That this sight actually is quite useful there. You can see them through the smoke, so if another team is using smoke a lot, that it will help out there. But again, it's not necessarily the best sights to use. It depends on your own personal preference, really. If you prefer using the holographic kind of sights or the zoom scopes or whatever, just use them. Don't take my word for the Milimeter scanner. Just use what feels good for you and what works for you. A lot of people just use the iron sights, which is, on SMGs is perfectly fine, but personally I prefer to, on the Vector, I just prefer this sight. It just seems to work. I don't know, I don't particularly like the iron sights on this. They're easy to use, but I mean, in the game it just feels a lot better. I seem to do a lot better with this sight on. So that is the main tactics, really. Just don't be directly on the objective, just cover the flanks and the rush routes, the counter routes, all those things. Just don't be directly on it, and you'll find it a lot easier, because when you're on the objective, like right on the objective, and you don't have any perks, or even if you don't have any attachments, if you're going for both challenges, you'll find you'll have a hard time trying to go up against people who have toughness and dexterity, because they're going to aim faster, they're going to be able to, they won't flinch as much, so you're going to lose gunfights just because of that, just because they have toughness and you don't. So that's another good reason not to be directly on the objective. You can see here that I have a sentry gun on the objective all the way over there, so I'm across the map trying to cover, because they're going to spawn somewhere over here, so I'm going to try and catch them out. And what's happened is we have captured that objective, it's gone, it's changed to the next one. So we have the middle one here, and I'm already across the map, I'm already right next to it, so I can just go in and help capture it. So I see a guy on the left here, so I'm ADS. The sight does help here. If you're going around the corners, it will help to spot them. But in this situation, aside, I'm not going to sit directly on it. I'm going to cover from the building up here, and I've got a sentry gun covering that side over there, so I can stop anyone trying to come into this building here. I'm doing a much better role by covering the flanks rather than being directly on it, and that's the main point of this strategy. Just don't be directly on it, just cover the sides.
Headquarters secured.
And that's pretty much it. The game is coming to an end now. This was a game of headquarters. It was in the mercenary playlists. I tend to stick to the mercenary players because I find that if I go in the normal playlist, there's a lot of stacked teams, and it can get really frustrating. When you got a ton of people who are on the same level as you, and you try, it really comes down to connection in this game. So I tend to prefer mercenary because of that. And that is it. That is a 48-5 gameplay. I didn't have any captures, but I had 6 defends. We did win 250-0, and that has been me, the Broken Machine. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a rating and let me know in the comments. I'll catch you guys later.
Confirm.